is a crazy look I got going today. Should have washed my hair this morning. Oh well. I don't really know what this video is exactly going to be. I'm going to just kind of talk like I'm not going to upload it because I probably won't. But I'm mainly doing this because when I was in high school and through my freshman year of college, I kept video diaries a lot where I would just, point a camera at myself and talk about my day, talk about how I felt, things I was worried about, things that made me happy. And going back and watching them as an adult is so interesting to, remember specific events and then go back and refer to that actual video and see, yourself so much younger and the two different perspectives that I had, then versus now. So I want to start doing that again because I haven't made, a video in several years to where I just talk about what's happening in my life. And I know for a fact that someday I'm going to want to look back and remember exactly how things were when I was 22. And today is May 31st, and tomorrow is June 1st, which means today is my last day being 22. My birthday is tomorrow, and I'm going to be a whole year older, and it is crazy to think about. Because this time last year, this exact day last year, I didn't really have birthday plans. None of my friends were able to come see me, which was fine. And I was in Virginia with my parents on a little vacation. And that night, I found out that I was going to have to move back in with my parents because I didn't have an apartment anymore for, different reasons. And I didn't have a job at that point either. I just quit my job, the job that I absolutely hated. And all my friends were not at that place in their life. They had all graduated college or were about to go to grad school, moving up in the world, and I felt at that point like I was just taking leaps and bounds backwards. And it sucked. Oh, it sucked so hard. Just to have that moment of tomorrow I'm going to be 22 and what am I actually doing with my life? Because I didn't feel like I needed a degree. I didn't feel like I needed an amazing office job or anything, but I felt like I just needed to be happy. I needed to be somewhere that made me happy and doing something that made me happy and around people that made me happy. And I didn't know how I was going to do that. I had no idea what the next step was supposed to be. So I took a shot in the dark. And I had moved in with my parents for 2 weeks. And I just randomly one day came up to this town where I had no friends, didn't know a single person even close to my age, and decided that I was just gonna start over. I was just gonna take the rock bottom that I felt like I had reached and use that as my foundation to just do it again and try to do it right this time. And at 22, I became the most badass version of myself I've ever been. Because I had this weekend in that town of just insane luck where I got this apartment that is little. It is so tiny and it's broken and it's old and it smells bad and it's probably haunted, but it's mine. And it's probably the first thing in my life that's ever just been mine. No one else lives here. No one else's name is on the lease. No one else pays for it. This is my home. And the first place I've ever been that I'm not immediately wanting to leave. And on top of that apartment, I got this incredible job that on the surface is just a restaurant. But it's not. To me, it's not. Like, it's an amazing job. I mean, the people are so nice, and they care, and I wake up every day and never once have I ever just been repulsed by the idea of going into work. Like, I always show up with a smile because everyone there is happy to see me, and it's fun. And I work 3 jobs at this restaurant, and the hours are long, and it's tiring, and frequently I will pull 12 to 13 hour shifts, but it feels worth it to me to just be somewhere that makes me happy. And I remember so vividly this time last year when I was about to move up to Asheville, talking to my parents about what I wanted. Like, realistically, like, for the first time ever, not aiming too high. I always go into things with ridiculously wild expectations, and I think that's the optimist in me, but sometimes you have to be a little bit more level-headed, you know, take yourself down a notch. And I remember for the first time ever talking to my parents about realistically what I wanted my short-term goals to be. And I said that really the only thing I wanted was to have a group of friends that I worked with who I felt like after work we could all go out and we could go to the same stupid little bar and sit in the same place and complain and laugh and dance and have a good time. And guess what happened? I got this group of friends up here who are just the best. All the time, even when they're not, even when they're jerks, even when they make me sad, they're the best. Because my relationship with them has always felt very 50-50. Like, you're never gonna be bored. You're never not gonna have someone to talk to who's gonna pick up the phone. And we just get into the stupidest situations. Like, we do. I mean, every Tuesday, someone's gonna go dancing. Every Sunday, someone's doing karaoke. Every Wednesday is burger night at whatever bar. And, like, I've had more fun with this group of people than anyone else ever. I mean, this year alone, I've tried so many new things and done so many new things. I've gotten kicked out of terrible trap bars. I've gone dancing. I don't go dancing. Who is that? But I have all the time. We go dancing. We go to electronic Russian polka shows and laugh harder than I've ever laughed with anyone. And we build blanket forts and we drink whiskey out of teacups, and it's fun. And I'm so happy that this year I've been blessed enough to surround myself with people who just make me feel lucky. Lucky to be alive, lucky to be here, lucky to be their friends. I feel lucky to be surrounded by people who not only care and not only notice when I'm not around, but who also just go out of their way to make sure that I'm happy. I I mean, I had a friend postpone a flight for me so that he could go to a concert with me to celebrate my birthday early. And who does that? And then another friend tomorrow who, without me even asking her to, is like organizing this massive girls' night where we're all gonna get dressed up and get drunk and have fancy cocktails. And it's incredible. And it's bittersweet to think that 22 is about to end, because it's just been the best year. One of those years that it almost feels like if you could freeze time and make it last like a little bit longer, like you would. You know, because it's weird to think that in the next couple weeks, in my personal life and in my work life and school life, like things are going to be changing, things are going to be shifting, and I think for the better. I mean, how could I know? Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm an optimist, so I think things are changing for the better. But at the same time, it's bittersweet, because you do just want to stop time sometimes. Make it all stand still and think, like, if I could just live like this, 22, and spending all my time smiling with my friends, I would. Like, I totally would. You wouldn't have to ask me twice. But that's not always an option. Sometimes you gotta move forward. Sometimes you gotta keep going. Even when things are scary, even when things are unpredictable. And I have no reason to believe that 23 isn't going to be every bit as badass as 22. Right? I mean, I started from the bottom, and I got this far. And I am one of those people who just absolutely refuses to believe that I can't have it all. And I think I can. Because even when my tires got slashed and I got a ticket that I didn't deserve, and when my rent went up, and when my phone broke in half, even when all that happened in 1 week, I still smiled every single day about it. Like, I still was cool with everything. And we'll find out tomorrow what's gonna happen. Next time you guys see me, I'm gonna look different. I'm gonna look older and wiser. And probably dress nicer. Probably pretty drunk. Yeah. So long to 22. You've treated me very well. And cheers to 23. Let's see how it goes.